You know all those little things your dog does, the way they just stare at you, the little grunts and barks, how they lean their whole body against your leg? Well, have you ever really truly stopped to think about what they're trying to tell you? I mean, we see it every day, so it's easy to just let it go. But I'm telling you, behind every single one of those actions, there's a hidden message. And honestly, some of them are way, way deeper than you could ever imagine. So what's really going through their furry little head when they give you that giant full-body stretch the second you walk through the door? Or when they suddenly plop down in the middle of a walk just because it started raining? I promise you, none of it is random. They're speaking a really complex language, one that's built entirely on instinct and raw emotion. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to play translator. We're going to crack the code on all those weird, wonderful behaviors and finally get to the real meaning behind them. You ready? Let's dive in. All right, first up, let's talk about how dogs speak directly from the heart. These are the big emotional signals they use to tell us exactly how they're feeling, and honestly, it's how they build that incredible bond we have with them. Okay, you have definitely 100% seen this. You walk in the door and your dog just melts into this huge, long, satisfying stretch. Now, you probably think, oh, they're just stretching their muscles, maybe they just woke up. But this is so much more than just a physical action. It's a full-on emotional hello. That hello stretch is actually a super powerful social signal. It's almost identical to a play bow. You know, when they put their front paws down and their butt in the air. That's the universal doggy sign for, hey, I'm friendly, let's play. So when you come home, they feel this huge wave of relief. And that stretch, it's their body's way of physically releasing all the tension and stress hormones that built up while you were away. It's basically them saying, oh, thank goodness you're here. I feel so much better now. And how about this one? This one's kind of funny. You let out a giant sneeze, right? And your dog's head immediately pops up. Maybe they even come trotting over. Well, that's because to a dog, a sneeze isn't just a random bodily function. It's a signal. See, dogs actually sneeze at each other during playtime to show that they're just having fun and aren't being aggressive. So when you sneeze, they might just think, oh, game on. Okay, let's be real. We've all been there. You call your dog's name and nothing. It's like they've suddenly gone deaf, but they can hear a cheese wrapper from 3 counties away, right? Well, this isn't disobedience. It's actually them being smart. Dogs are amazing at linking words to outcomes. So if come here usually means the fun is over and we're leaving the park, well, they're going to pause. They're not being stubborn. They're literally standing there weighing the pros and cons. Okay, moving on to our second section, reading the world. Those emotional signals are just one piece of the puzzle. Dogs are also constantly reading their environment with senses that are so powerful, we humans completely miss what's going on. This quote just nails it perfectly. You know when you're on a walk and your dog spends what feels like an actual eternity sniffing one tiny patch of grass? We get impatient, right? But for them, that one spot is like us scrolling through our social media feed. It's the morning paper. With just their nose, they can tell who's been there, if they were male or female, if they were feeling stressed or happy. They're not just sniffing, they're downloading a huge story. And have you ever had this happen? You're on a walk, it starts to rain, and your dog just stops. They plant their feet and refuse to move. It's not them being a diva about getting wet, it's a full-blown sensory overload. You see, rain completely changes their world. It washes away all the familiar smells they used to navigate, it makes the ground feel different, and it completely changes how sound travels. To them, the whole map of their world just got erased. So that deep, primal instinct kicks in and tells them, stop, listen, observe, and wait until it feels safe again. All right, now let's bring it all indoors, because a lot of the absolute weirdest things our dogs do right in our own living rooms are really just echoes of their ancient, wild instincts. It's like having a little wolf on your couch. Oh man, watching your dog dig furiously at the brand new couch can be so frustrating. It looks like they're just on a mission to destroy it, but it's actually an instinct to self-regulate or to self-soothe. Digging is a way for them to burn off pent-up energy, to deal with a little anxiety, or even just to perform an ancient nesting ritual to make their spot feel perfectly safe and cozy. They're not trying to be bad, they're trying to make themselves feel better. And here's a super fun one. You know that absolutely chaotic, joyful sprint your dog does right after they go to the bathroom? Well, believe it or not, it has a name, the post-elimination zoomies. And it makes total sense if you think about it. For any animal in the wild, that's a pretty vulnerable moment. So once the business is taken care of, all that pent-up, nervous energy just bursts out in a sprint of pure relief and happiness. It's like a little victory lap. To us, the vacuum cleaner is just a tool, but I want you to try and see it from your dog's perspective for a second. To them, it is a monster. I'm serious. It makes a painfully high-pitched sound, it moves unpredictably, it doesn't have a face or smell they can identify, and it makes the whole floor vibrate. It literally checks all the boxes of a strange, loud, unpredictable predator. Of course they're terrified.
And now, we've arrived at our final section, the big one, the behavior that inspired this whole explainer, the real meaning of a lick. It can feel so sweet, but sometimes it's just a little confusing, right? Well, let's finally uncover what's really going on.
So what does a lick really mean? Because I can tell you right now, it is so much more than just a simple doggy kiss. In fact, it's one of the most complex and meaningful forms of communication they have. A single lick actually has 3 different layers to it. First, there's bonding and care. This is something they learned as a tiny puppy from their mom. Licking was how she cleaned them, comforted them, and showed affection. So it's deeply wired in their brain as a sign of family and care. Second, and this is the mind-blowing part, they are literally reading your emotions. When our feelings change, our body chemistry changes. We release different hormones and compounds in our sweat when we're stressed or happy, and your dog can actually taste those changes on your skin. They are tasting your emotional state. And that leads directly to the third layer, a calming effort. Once they taste that you're stressed or sad, their instinct is to try and soothe you, just like their mother soothed them. It's their way of saying, hey, I'm here, let me help. So when you put it all together, when your dog licks you, they're not just being sweet. They're checking in on you, they're tasting your feelings, and they're offering comfort. They're reinforcing that incredible bond you two share. They are saying, in the only language they know, you are mine, you are safe, and I am here for you. You see, your dog isn't just being random or weird. They are talking to you all day, every day. And once you start to understand their language, you realize something amazing. Your dog gets you on a level you probably never even imagined. Learning these signals is truly the key to unlocking an even deeper, more incredible connection with your best friend. If you want to keep learning your dog's secret language and discover even more about the amazing animal you share your home with, please make sure you subscribe to the Love Dogs channel. Thanks so much for being here with us.